Hi everyone, let us continue from the question number 16 of UGC NET December 2004. The final version of Wordsworth's The Prelude appeared in The Prelude. This is famous work of William Wordsworth. The final version of Wordsworth's The Prelude appeared in option C, 1850 is the correct answer. The prelude or growth of a poet's mind. The other name of the prelude is Growth of a Poet's Mind, is an autobiographical poem in blank verse by the English poet William Wordsworth, intended as the introduction to the more philosophical Recluse, which Wordsworth never finished. The prelude is an extremely personal and revealing work on the details of Wordsworth's life. What should we note down here is the prelude. The other name of prelude is Growth of a Poet's Mind. It is an autobiographical poem in blank verse. William Wordsworth is the English poet. Then the prelude is an extremely personal and revealing work on the details of Wordsworth's life. The final version of Wordsworth's The Prelude appeared in 1850 is the correct answer. We can move to the next question. To suffer whose, which hope, things infinite is written by. Who wrote this quote? Option A is the correct answer. Shelley. Percy Bysshe Shelley. Full name of Shelley is Percy Bysshe Shelley. Gives an inspirational quote talking about the value of love. To suffer whose, which hope things infinite, to forgive wrongs darker than death or night, to defy power. These lines occur in Prometheus Unbound. What should we note down here is, it is an inspirational quote by Percy Bysshe Shelley. This quote is talking about the value of love. These lines occur in Prometheus Unbound. These things are important in this question. We can move to the next question. A thing of beauty is a joy forever occurs in option D. Endymion is the correct answer. This is popular question. A thing of beauty is a joy forever occurs in Endymion. Endymion is a poem by John Keats, first published in 1818. It begins with the line, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. It is written in rhyming couplets in iambic pentameter. What should we note down here is, Endymion is a poem by John Keats. It was first published in 1818. This poem begins with the line, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. It was written in rhyming couplets. The two, it was written in iambic pentameter. We can move to the next question. Which of the following novels is a satire on the Gothic novel? Option D is the correct answer. Northanger Abbey. Northanger Abbey was the first of Jane Austen's novels to be completed for publication. Though she had previously made a start on Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice, most literary critics refer to Northanger Abbey as Jane Austen's Gothic parody, because it satirizes the form and conventions of the Gothic novels that were popular during the time when Austen wrote this. What should we note down here is, Northanger Abbey was the first of Jane Austen's novels to be completed for publication. First of all, she had previously started Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice, but to be completed for publication, Northanger Abbey was the first. Most literary critics refers to Northanger Abbey as Jane Austen's Gothic parody. It is to note down Gothic parody because it satirizes the form and conventions of the Gothic novels. It was popular during the time when Austen wrote this. Which of the following novels is a satire on the Gothic novel? Northanger Abbey is the correct answer. Next question is, who distinguished between the literature of knowledge and the literature of power? Option B is the correct answer. Thomas De Quincey. Full name of De Quincey is Thomas De Quincey. Thomas De Quincey, The Literature of Knowledge and the Literature of Power, first published in the North British Review in August 1848 as a part of a critical essay on Alexander Pope. What should we note down here is Thomas De Quincey, The Literature of Knowledge and the Literature of Power. It was first published in North British Review in August 1848. It was a part of a critical essay on Alexander Pope, who distinguished between the literature of knowledge and the literature of power. De Quincey is the correct answer. We can move to the next question. Who among the following Victorian poets is the most sensitive to the conflict between the old and the new? Which Victorian poet is the most sensitive to the conflict between the old and the new? Option A is the correct answer. Tennyson, Alfred Lord Tennyson. He was born on 6 August 1809. He died on 6 October 1892. We must learn the birth year and death year of all the writers. Was a poet laureate of Great Britain and Ireland during much of Queen Victoria's reign and remains one of the most popular British poets. What should we note down here is, first of all, we must be aware about the birth year and death year of Alfred Lord Tennyson. He was born on 6 August 1809, died on 6 October 1892. He was a poet laureate of Great Britain and Ireland during much of Queen Victoria's reign. During Queen Victoria's reign, he was a poet laureate of Great Britain and Ireland, and even now he remains one of the most popular British poets. Who among the following Victorian poets is the most sensitive to the conflict between the old and the new? Tennyson is the correct answer. We can move to the next question. Under the Greenwood Tree is written by. This is an easy question. Thomas Hardy is the correct answer. Under the Greenwood Tree, a rural painting of the Dutch School is a novel by Thomas Hardy, published anonymously in 1872. It was Hardy's second published novel, the last to be printed without his name, and the first of his great series of Wessex novels. What should we note down here is,